Hey everybody, today's lesson from Unit 1.2 is entitled Composition of Transformations. When two or more transformations are combined to form a single transformation, the result is called a composition of transformations. In other words, today we are going to be combining things like a translation combined with a rotation, or a rotation followed by a reflection. If we happen to do a translation and then follow it up by a reflection, then we can refer to that as what's called a glide reflection. So you slide something over and then you reflect it over a line. In our first example, we have triangle ABC with the vertices listed, and then we have to find the image of triangle ABC after this glide reflection. So I'm going to do the translation first, which we're going to do x minus 6 followed by just keeping y the same. So we're going to take and slide the triangle 6 units to the left, but we're not going to move it up or down at all. After we do that, then we're going to do a reflection in the x-axis. So take a minute and just graph the points of triangle ABC first. Okay, so this is our pre-image, triangle ABC, and again we're going to do the translation first. Now I'm going to list the points out for you so you can see what happens as we go through both of these transformations. Okay, if we take a look at the steps to the solution, we've already done step 1 where we graph triangle ABC. Next we're going to graph triangle A prime, B prime, C prime by translating 6 units to the left. So take point A and count 6 to the left. And that's where A prime will go. And A prime has coordinates -3, +2. Okay, and do that with the remaining 2 points and then draw your triangle. Okay, so that's what your triangle should look like. A prime should be at -3, +2. B prime should be at 0, 3. And C prime should be at 1, 1. Next, we're going to graph triangle A double prime, B double prime, C double prime after reflecting in the x-axis. So I'm going to mark the line of reflection, the x-axis, that's this horizontal line at y equals 0. I'm going to mark it with that dotted line there, and now I have to reflect A prime, B prime, and C prime in this line. So A prime is here 2 units above our line of reflection, so we want to come directly below A prime by going 2 units below our line of reflection. And so there's A double prime. And it has coordinates of -3, -2. So it's a little hard to read. Okay, and we'll do this with the other 2 points. So here's B prime, and that's 3 units above the x-axis. 1, 2, 3. Go 3 units below. 1, 2, 3. And put B double prime right there. And B double prime has coordinates of 0, -3. Okay, so remember when you are reflecting something in the x-axis, the x-coordinate stays the same. The sign changes on the y-coordinate changes to the opposite sign. All right, finally back to C prime. It's right here, so reflect that in the x-axis, and we get C double prime 1 unit below our line of reflection. So I'd encourage you to use a ruler, use colored pencils so you can see the difference between your 3 figures. Okay, final coordinates. C double prime has coordinates of 1, -1. So the result of our glide reflection gives us this final triangle right here. Okay, in our next 2 problems, we're going to try this without using a graph, but if you get too confused, then take a few minutes, plot the points, and do everything on graph paper. In the first example, it says we're given triangle ABC with those coordinates. Point A is at 2, 1, B is at 6, 1, and C is at 2, 5. We have to find the image after a reflection in the y-axis in composition with a half turn about the origin. Okay, so really the little notation that we're missing here is like a little O in between, a little open circle in between. When your composition is listed as it is in this particular problem, we have to start on the right. So we're going to actually start with the half turn. Okay, so what we need to do is refer back to our notes, and in class it would probably be a good idea to make a note card with the rules on it for reflections and rotations. Okay, so it says here, first find the image of triangle ABC under the half turn. So we're going to rotate 180 degrees, and that rule is we take every point xy and map it to a new point by doing negative x comma negative y, or the opposite of x and the opposite of y. So our first point at A, whose coordinates are 2, 1, it'll become A prime at negative 2, negative 1. Point B at 6, 1 becomes B prime as negative 6, negative 1. And C at 2, 5 becomes C prime at negative 2, negative 5. Okay, second, we're going to find the image of triangle A prime, B prime, C prime reflected in the y-axis. And notice that in our list, that was the transformation that was listed first, but in compositions we go from right to left and not left to right. Okay, so the rule for reflecting something in the y-axis is that every point with x and y maps to a new point by doing negative x, but keeping the y value the same, so negative x comma y. So first we take the results, they become our new input right here. So we're going to take negative 2, negative 1 and apply this reflection in the y-axis, and that becomes our A double prime, which will be at 2, negative 1. So take the opposite of the x value, so change the sign, but keep the sign on the y value the same. Okay, apply that to all 3 points, and we end up with 6, negative 1, and 2, negative 5 for C double prime. Okay, so this set of points right here is the result of our composition. So if we took the original points A, B, and C, did a half turn, reflection in the y-axis, this is what would happen. In our last example, we're given triangle JKL, and with the vertices J at 2, 2, K at 5, 4, and L at 1, 5. And we have to find the image after a translation, which takes every x value and adds 1 and subtracts 3 from the y value. And this is a composition with a reflection in the x-axis. So again, there should be a little like open circle here to represent that we're doing a composition. And when your composition is listed this way, again, we want to start on the right. So start here. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is a reflection in the x-axis. The rule when you're reflecting in the x-axis, you take every point xy and you create a new point by keeping x the same but changing the sign on the y value. Okay, so take the point 2, 2, point J, and J prime will become 2, negative 2. Take the point 5, 4, and that's point K, and K prime will become 5, negative 4. And finally take point L at 1, 5, and L prime becomes 1, negative 5. Okay, next we're going to do our translation. So we have to take each point x, y, and apply this rule to it. So we want to add 1 to every x value and subtract 3 from y. So J prime, if I take the x value of 2 and I add 1, I get 3. If I take the y value of negative 2 and I subtract 3, I get negative 5. So J double prime has coordinates 3, negative 5. So do the same with K prime and L prime. So with K prime, the x value is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. The y value is negative 4. Negative 4 minus 3 is negative 7. And finally with L prime, x value is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. And then negative 5 for y would give us negative 8. Okay, as always, good luck on your check your understanding and also your homework, and see your teacher if you have any questions.